Greetings fellow gamers, welcome to the Onion channel. Today we are looking at Hollywood Animal, which is a ruthless business sim about running a film studio in the 1930s. The game gives you lots of different things to do in terms of film production and film distribution, and it's a lot of fun, especially when things go wrong and you need to deal with scandals, drug scandals, sex scandals, and even murders. The game is absolutely brilliant, and it's in early access right now. I've been playing it a ton, and I wanted to show it to you guys today. Okay, so New Year 1929, the hedonism of the 20s gives way to the Great Depression. The advent of talkies heralds the golden age of Hollywood, and life gives way to cinema. This game, I saw a lot of complaints that the intro is unskippable, but I believe they're changing that in a patch that's coming out this Monday the 28th. Film companies fiercely compete for market and influence. The strong devour the weak. That is us. We are going to be the strong. We're probably going to start as the weak. You purchase a bankrupt studio to build a new business on its ruins. So yeah, this is the opening to the game. We are a Hollywood film studio. We're just established and we've purchased a bankrupt studio. I'm going to play the tutorial for you guys, but we'll cut it up a little bit. We are of course going to be Onion Studios, and let's find the most onion looking insignia. They're all animals for some reason. I think this for some reason screams onion to me. I don't know why. So something I always enjoy doing is naming people stupid names. Gooby Wooby. These are all our executives. These are main executives. This guy is going to be Mr. Smile, and we're going to pick Messenger of Death as our first film. So you'll see right away, detective, thriller, modern American city. So this is the setting, and these are some genres. Now, when you actually get to script movies for yourself, you get to pick these sort of storytelling themes, like an event, like a Prison Break. This is obviously part of the tutorial where it gives you the actual plot of the film. You don't get this when you make films yourself, in my opinion, thankfully, because the game can take a while to get going. Like I said, they're fixing that. This game actually faced a lot of sort of tribulations when it first launched. It launched with mixed reviews because of the state that it launched in. In my opinion, it was a little bit harsh because the bugs were, whilst they were kind of annoying, they didn't really stick around for very long, and they weren't the most game-breaking things. The game auto-saved enough where you didn't lose a whole lot of progress, and it's to be expected in an early access game. But thankfully, a lot of those bugs have been squashed already. The other thing that people complained about a lot, this is our actor Joe Duvall. He's playing the lead, Harry Burroughs, the detective. But yeah, a lot of the things that people were complaining about were also that, like, negotiation screens, like when an actor, you know, their contract runs out, you have to renegotiate over and over and over and over again. And whilst that is frustrating, they've also fixed a lot of that stuff already, and thankfully the game is now at a mostly positive review state. I really hope it can get to an overwhelmingly positive state, you know, in the next month or two. I have been playing a ton of this game. I've never seen a game release so, like, I don't know. I thought it was a finished game. I didn't even realize it was in early access. And I've played for about 50 hours, probably about 12, 13, 14 hours on one save. And I haven't even reached the end of Act 1, which is all the content they have. So it's definitely worth the money. So this is the commercial rating of our films, and this is the artistic appeal. So obviously this is what makes money, and this is what garners us reputation. What's this guy, the cinematographer? No, he's the screenwriter. And now Joe Duvall has actually died. This happens every time in the tutorial, and it actually increases the artistic appeal but lowers the commercial appeal. After the production phase, the film's commercial appeal declined because the lead actor became ill and he couldn't fight and he looked too thin. However, him trying to make up for his lack of physique with the subtlety of his acting increased the artistic appeal. And also, it doesn't say it right here, but like, people dying also just increases the artistic appeal because, and sometimes the commercial appeal, depending on how big of a star they were. And you can see in a lot of the reviews they talk about how you know, how tragic it is that this person's died just as the films come out. So this is how much we've spent on the pre-production and the production, which is like writing, casting, and filming. And we still have to spend money on editing and distribution. And this is our studio plot. This is Onion Studios. It's pretty nice, but definitely needs some work. So this is our post-production department. This is the editing screen. This is another one of those things like that just can't be skipped. This little like animatic every time you enter. Obviously not this part right here. This is the tutorial. Emma and Lewis are best editors. And for film development, we're going to go with Webb Sin, Hollywood Concert Hall for the music, and sound magicians. Now, this is all you have at this starting point, but there are points where you can increase your studio's sort of appeal, and you can actually, just like in Civ 6 where you focus on being a technologically savvy civilization, you can also be, you know, a commercial giant where you want to make big budget films, or you can be a sort of, you know, art house where you make really artistic films, or you can make trash. And all these different sort of studio policies that you decide to commit to give you different boons and different flaws with all your different departments. It's really interesting, really well fleshed out. It's the most strategic business sim I've played. So time has moved on a little bit, and we're going to build our first new department. I'm not going to show you me building every single one of these buildings because I want to show you what the game looks like when you're going. But we have to build a script department first, which is where our scripts get written. One tip I'll say right away is keep everything bunched together nice and close by, because you build sort of buildings, you know, alongside this little extra buildings. Like for the script department, we have the story workshop and all this other stuff, and you need space. So keep everything scrumped together. Sometimes I've actually had it in a situation where I built everything too spread out, and I couldn't fit the services building, which is right here. That's where you get gifts for your actors and employees and stuff. And I couldn't build it anywhere because it's the biggest building. So that was definitely annoying, because I ended up spending way more money on contracts than I should have if I didn't have the service building. So this is our first dilemma, and there's tons of these in the game, and this is a pretty innocent one. But Mr. Smiles, our financial executive, he has an issue where he's gotten divorced, and now he's got a new lady in his life who he loves, but she keeps visiting him and distracting him. So we can say he's actually asking us to ban her from the building so that she doesn't distract his work. See, she's pulling on his tie. The artwork is beautiful in this game. So we can say enjoy it while you can, which will increase his happiness, which is right here. No, right here. But it'll decrease his loyalty. Now, if employees have high loyalty, we'll be able to get them on cheaper contracts, and, you know, if competitors start to sort of influence them, they'll stick with us. However, if their happiness is really high, then they'll do a better job. If their happiness is really low, they can cause more problems for us, and in some cases, you know, die by their own hand, which is crazy. And if their loyalty is really low, they might end up quitting. So I usually just go on whatever we want to increase. I don't want his happiness to get really low, so I'll increase his happiness. So here's another dilemma. They're trying to get a really nice tree delivered for the script department, so we can either wait and delay the production of the script department, or we can spend 200 cash. Now, we obviously have $7,263,000, but that's in the bank. This is cash on hand. And that dilemma is a way to sort of introduce this kind of currency. This is what we have on hand, and this is what we have in the bank. So we're not always able to use this to finance things. So a strong cash flow is important. This is our reputation, which we increase or decrease depending on our actions. Now, Messenger of Death is ready. Our first film, which we inherited obviously from the previous studio. We spent 36 grand editing it, and we've actually decreased its commercial appeal and its artistic appeal. Which does happen. Don't be upset, you did everything you could. Our studio still has low-level employees and technology. So this gets improved. I've gotten to the point in my other save where I'm making 9.9s and 9.9s and dominating the award ceremony. This is another little feature I really like. You get to pick the poster, and I believe these are AI generated, but it does a really good job. So let's go with this one, the thumbprint. I like it. So this calendar is the distribution calendar, and basically we can sort of choose how many theaters we want to distribute it to, and that all costs money. See, we spent 321 grand on distributing to 28,000 cinemas. Your studio owns some cinemas, so you can distribute to those for free, and then you have to rent other cinemas. These are Snowflake in the Desert, They Asked Me Questions, The Quiet. These are other films produced by other studios. They're our competition. This one's #1 in the box office right now, They Ask No Questions, and it's got Raphael Green and Jerry Klausner in it. It's a Wild West detective movie. Sounds terrible. So what this green bar is, this is our advertisement. Now, we can choose how long the ad run is. Obviously not on this one because it's the tutorial. And you can choose the demographic. So Messenger of Death, it's a thriller, which is that knife, and a detective movie. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's for adults. I don't know if I want to say it's for the whole family. It doesn't really matter right now. But you can actually, even though the film is already this quality, commercial and artistic appeal, you can decrease it further if you bring the wrong audience to it. So you can upgrade your distribution place, which is your marketing building, this one right here, so that you can get better audience analytics and stuff like that to know who you should market the film towards. Here's another one introducing another currency. This is influence. So The old studio closed its doors. The parasites from Margin Pictures decided Messenger Death would never see the light of day. So we can say, let them know that a deal is a deal and we can get our slots back. It's a distribution dilemma. I don't want to read the whole thing. But let's spend 50 influence to, sort out the dilemma. Now we have 50 influence. For every building you build, every month, I think, you get more influence. Screenwriters turn ideas into screenplays. Nice. So let's hire this gentleman, Willie Sutton, here as the head of our script department because he already has 20% in cash. And what that means is when you upgrade the script department, you can use cash, bank balance, the studio's official accounts. You can use that to fast forward the upgrade by 20%. And you can upgrade this. I've gotten all the way up to fast forwarding things by 50% using a combination of cash, influence, and also the longer that they're employed has some kind of effect on it. I'm not exactly sure how that works. What is our studio's favorite genres? Now, this choice really just decides what our sort of screenwriters are going to be able to. You get 3 screenwriters when you start. It's quite difficult to get new screenwriters, but you can do it when you get, further into the game. I'm going to go action, comedy, romance. No, I don't want to do comedy. I want to do action, drama, romance. So, Bernard Larson, who's going to be renamed to Blump Flunken. Felix Hill, our screenwriter. This guy's the best, in my opinion. His name is going to be Indo Mandugian. And Walter West is going to be Westerwald. The reason I like to name everybody funny names is just because when they pop up later on, it's fun. So, this is the situation with the script department. So, we go to ideas and we can write whatever we want. Obviously, it shows it's an action, modern American city, and it's a cop. Or there's a cowboy romance on a tropical island. That sounds terrible. The first upgrade you want to get in the script department is the story workshop because then you can make your own things. So this is an action in a modern American city. Let's give it to Indo Mandugian because he's our best screenwriter. He has 3.5 stars out of 10. He's also a gambler. Now this is really interesting. In all of the employees you can have, they will have traits. They can have positive traits like they're a leader on set if they're an actor, or they're really passionate or they're really disciplined. And they can have negative traits like being lazy, being a gambler, or being a racist. I actually had one actress on my other save who was both a racist and a team player. Not sure how that one works, but anyway. So here we are in the upgrade screen. Like I said, the story workshop is the first thing you have to build, and this is where you can speed up the upgrade right here. The head of our scriptwriting department has 20% in cash, so we can fast forward things with our cash by 20%. It's 10k per percent. I'm not going to bother because this is a tutorial and the upgrade is really slow, but some of the upgrades take like 1,000 days or something like this. These are all things that you can use. This is just the scriptwriter department's upgrade tree, and it is so expansive. If you get the freelance writer's office, you can buy scripts. If you get the rolling edits, it means that you can rewrite scripts as you're filming in case anything goes wrong, and all of that will go wrong. So definitely recommend looking into all the upgrades, take it seriously. And now that we've unlocked upgrades, we can get upgrades for the rest of our departments. I'm not going to show you every second of it, but what I do suggest is getting one of these built ASAP. I suggest the Film Lab. Get it built as quickly as possible. See, this one costs 400 days, which is a year. That was another complaint when it launched. These used to be twice as long, but that's been changed now, thank God. In our distribution department, this is one thing that's very important. You need to build the marketing and outreach building first. It doesn't say it in the tutorial, but basically, you run out of ad campaigns. You get 3 when you start that you've inherited from the other studio. But the marketing and outreach building lets you do your own. So get that built ASAP Rocky. So we're going to speed it up by with our cash because we have lots of cash. But I'm not going to use my influence. We only have 50 influence. And sometimes issues come up where you need to spend influence. So I'd recommend just, at the beginning of the game, hold on to your influence. Now let's just get these done real quick. The ones in the main building, these ones, let's unlock services because that's very useful. The main building ones usually take a long time. Let's get $1 million loan. And let's get mid-level legal protection. I'd like to have to get sped up as fast as possible because there is a lawsuit that happens. Oh, we have to build new departments as well. Let's get that done because I want to show you another thing, the contractors. So in the production department, let's stick it right here. You can choose one of 3 contractors. It just means that essentially after a while the condition of the buildings will deteriorate and you need to repair them. I always go for the cheapest one because money is important. Let's get the medium landscaping tower as well. So what I would suggest after building everything, see now we have security unlocked, and the security department is a very important department where you can do all of your illegal activities like murdering people, kidnapping people, and bribing people, which is very important if you want to run a successful film studio. So as you can see, it's starting to come alive a little bit, our studio. We got a bunch of stuff being built. We haven't built the pre-production office yet. This is a huge one. But everything's being built. Now, the one thing I'd recommend doing is, even though you may not use the script you're going to write, get this romance idea. I know it sounds terrible. Give it to the romance guy. Everybody should be writing all the time. That is one of the most important tips I can give for this game, because you need to upgrade your writers. The sooner you do, the better movies you'll be making. So let's move on. Okay, so all our buildings are about to be built, so let's hire some studio heads. I would rather do 20% cash than 10 and 10 because, like I said, I don't really like to use influence all that much. So, new actors. This is Gorbo Borbo, Stillwater, and the man. And let's get Gabby Babby, Thimble, and Stork Johnson. Looney. And this guy is going to be 89th Street. Now that I am done being an absolute child. Pre-production, I recommend getting the casting office right away because that enables you to hire people. Once again, it's a tutorial sort of building. Only costs 70 days, so no need to speed it up. Lydia Globe. Oh, look at her. Her happiness is really low. She's an actress who was part of the previous thing, so let's let her take a vacation so that she can be happy when she comes back to work. Now that we've unlocked the production department, I would recommend getting production support first. It's a very, very big upgrade, but it increases morale when filming things, which ends up making a better movie. Oh, Messenger of Death is finished. Add a tagline. Death is the message. Very mysterious. Hopefully that does well. Messenger of Death 7.2 and 8.5 and A+ on the Kino mark. That is a good movie. If we said this was for kids or for, you know, grown women or grown men, we might not have gotten as much of a rating, as good of a rating, and all of the critiquers are giving it a good score. So the first film is always good. We spent 493 grand on it, and let's see what our return is. There we go. We've made a profit already. So we're bankrolling. We're doing well. The story workshop has been built. So let's get... I like to get rolling edits next because it's one that you need just to save movies sometimes. Okay, so security upgrades. Operations center, which allows you to do contract killings and abductions. So a little tip, what I'd suggest is getting the bodyguard upgrade right away because you need to give someone a bodyguard at one point. I can't remember when. So in the producer's office, the first upgrade is 2 projects per producer. For really long upgrades, it's better to spend money because this is reduced it by 300 days. That's almost a year. This is, you know, 5 years or 6 years or whatever. Engineering, 20%. You're in. I will get research group 2 first. 2,000 days. Another insane one. So we're down 2 million, but we're about to make some money with Messenger of Death, so it's no worries. This game is all about sort of going into debt to make a good movie and then hoping that it's a success. It's a very, very, very fun gameplay loop. So we were rank 1 in the first week, and attendance has steadily dropped. We can extend distribution, which you have to for the first film, but it'll make less money. Sometimes you can, you know, extend distribution and make the same amount of money if you have a real hit on your hands. We also need to build a level 1 soundstage so we can start filming movies on our property. Let's stick it right here. And the Amber Tier has been written by Walter West. This was the cowboy romance, terrible film. And would you look at that? It's absolutely terrible. But that's to be expected. So, if you're me, what I would suggest doing, exit. We don't even need it. I don't even want to shelve it. You can shelve it, which keeps it for later, but there's no need. Bodyguards are done. Now, what I would suggest is getting security services, or do I want to get... Basically, Operations Center, you can do your killings and your abductions, and reliable cover, which I don't know what that means. As you can see, there's a little red lock on some features that aren't in the game yet. But security services is a good one because it lets you spy on your employees. And if you find out something, you know, scandalous about them, you can use it as leverage in your negotiations with them. So I'm gonna get that one. So we have made our money back from Messenger of Death, and it is continuing to make us money. So here we are. Indo Mandugian, who's our best scriptwriter, has wrote a decent script. So this is a good opportunity. Let's take it into production. I don't know what kind of cinematographers we have in the studio in employment already, but let's see. Okay, we don't have a soundstage built yet, unfortunately. So basically, how this screen works is we hire a cinematographer and then we choose a soundstage. We'll have a level 1 soundstage, which means that we'll be able to film things that are, you know, these are like key scenes. These are key sets, and these are like less important ones. So I would usually put those on the soundstage and then put these ones where we film on location. And basically, if you upgrade your production department, you can get international location scouting and all this stuff that increases its production value. Now this is going to be expensive because we're filming on location for everything, but if we had the soundstage, we could do it for the cheap. Actually, how long until the soundstage is built? 10 days? We can wait 10 days. Oh no, the soundstage is built. Sorry, I was looking at the story workshop. So let's name it The Goob, and now we can produce this film, which is right here in the pre-production department, and we can put some of it in the goob so that it costs less. So this is 12 grand. Now it's 8. And trust me, when these stars go up to the 4 stars, it gets very expensive. So you definitely want to use a soundstage. And we'll use Thomas Morrison because his skill is balanced between soundstage and filming on location. So we only have access to 1 camera and 1 microphone right now. We can either choose 1 to 10 extras or 11 to 50 extras. There's the difference in the price. And we can choose the difference in crew as well. There's no point in trying to make it, you know, worse than it's going to be. So let's go ahead and make it like this. Let's put Roy Spencer on it. He's a new producer. He's not as good, but I have a feeling that actually let's put a good director on it, but you know, a not good producer. And now here we have our people. So you actually have to take into consideration people's sort of traits as well as their ages and the genre of film and roles that they've played recently. Basically, if you put a guy who recently played a cop as a cop, it's not always good. Like, I could get away with it with this guy, but everybody wants the hero's beloved to be younger. They want the evil sorcerer to be older. So that's just them telling you to pay attention to age. But I'm going to go with Thimble because he's our best actor. So I'm going to put him in the role. I'm going to put this guy as the rival. And then we just have to put the supervisor seal. That's how much money we're spending on pre-production. That's how much money we're spending on filming. It's going to take 100 days plus 28 days. So 130 days. We're going to fast forward until we have this built. Okay, we have the casting office. We need to build that as well. Let's get good sets and props right away. And now here's the situation. Joe Duvall, who died in the making of Messenger of Death, the previous studio had his in his contract 25% of the film to him, but now we've just buried the contract and we've created a secret. 70 days until the secret increases. What you can actually do, let's pick a new upgrade, ethnic composition. So we can hire a security operative. He's level 3. He's pretty good. Let's hire another one just to be safe. And now let's go to our secrets. And let's assign our good security guy to that secret. So he's going to make sure that that secret is being handled and appropriately buried. Now, when the story workshop building is complete, let's create our own movie. And let's make it an action movie. Let's call it The Killing Time. I've never been the best coming up with movies, but let's make it action romance in the modern American town. Let's have a protagonist as a working man. Now, here's the thing, right? When you unlock certain upgrades in the marketing and distribution and stuff, you can find out what combinations are best. I know from experience that working man is good for romance and the modern American town. Supporting characters, obviously, because there's a romance, we need a love interest. And because it's an action, we need a bad guy. If we didn't have a bad guy and it was just a full romance, you don't necessarily need a bad guy for romance. But let's put a serial killer. Why not? Love interest. And let's make it have a shootout because it's an action movie. And let's have this, because it's mainly action, we should have an action oriented sort of ending. So let's have the antagonist getting punished. This is our action guy. We're going to give him the movie. And what we're going to do before we fast forward time is we're going to make 3 more custom films for our writers. So romance, let's call this My Love Is There. And let's make it romance drama. So let's put it in the city. We don't necessarily need a bad guy in this one because it's mostly romance. So let's make it a hopeless romantic and a love interest and a femme fatale. And let's get the love triangle as the one of the themes and events. And then let's end with sweethearts stay together. Isn't that beautiful? Now, you can eventually get more story elements. And if you build certain buildings, you can get crazy story elements. We probably won't get into that right now. Let's give it to the romance guy. Even though he sucks, that's given him the best possible opportunity to write a banger script. And let's just do a drama for the last guy. This one's called Weep, Weep, Weep. 3 E's at the end. And let's make it a drama romance, I guess. I don't really want to keep doing romance, but let's put the setting in the Wild West. And let's do like a Gone with the Wind kind of thing. Let's get our cowboy as the lead. Let's get the bad guy being a bandit. We'll have a love interest again. In this one, he's going to win the beloved from the bandit. And at the end, but he's going to die heroically. Very dramatic. Okay? Let's give that to the drama guy. Everybody's writing a banger script. And we can continue with the game. Oh, we can't actually because we need to build the casting office, which we just unlocked via the upgrade. And let's also go and build the services department, which, like I said, is ginormous. This one is for giving gifts to our actors. Things are starting to come together and production is happening. Okay, we're ready to start this film. 4.4, 3.4, that's going to happen. Your first films are always going to be bad. what you need to make sure you do is that they don't end up terrible. So I always like to put a security on every single film that I shoot, because it's just another preventative measure to stop crazy things from happening. And you would be surprised about the crazy things that happened. I've had a director be so intense about his craft that he wants to set a horse on fire. I let it happen. The film had a huge artistic appeal because of the great lengths they went through, but it also meant that people were angry with me and I lost some reputation. So a journalist wants to come to the film set. That's fine. These are sort of timed quests. You just click on them. We have to get an actress to take this journalist around the film studio. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that he gets drunk. This is where we'd be able to give them gifts to sort of mean that we don't have to pay them as much, but we're paying her $15,000 just to tour this journalist around. Thank you, Gorbo. Here's another one. We have to hire a very, very popular actress, and now here you can see basically actors earn sort of reputations. That's their artistic reputation, promising talent, commanding presence, true artist, icon. It basically just means that they're more expensive and they garner more attention when they're in movies. So every now and then something will be written about you and you'll lose or gain influence. It's not that big a deal, but we do have the casting office now. Where is it? This one here. Employees. Here we can see the sort of ethnic makeup of our employees. And we can go to the employee center where we can hire an actor. Now, Hooch Osborne is the best actor in the world, apparently. So I say, why is he so cheap? He's chaste. He won't do sex scenes. He's good at playing an angry boss and an adventurer. And he's played an angry boss like 5 times. Dude, this is a steal. Let's get this guy and this guy because we need him for the quest. But he's literally the best actor in the world. So I want to snap him up right away, especially because he's so cheap. So personally what I like to do is I like to, when I have less money at the beginning, I like to hire them for movies. Because if we hire them for movies, then they need to wait around for us to make a good movie for them. But if we hire them for a certain amount of time, like for years, it's more expensive and we might not use them and they just get free money from us. So I like to hire for movies when I'm first starting out. We're also going to hire, what was it, this guy? This guy's a rising star. He's going to be much more expensive. 200 grand. Oh my days. This is going to be filming for ages. This has all our sort of, you know, C-tier actors on it. Services has been constructed. I'll hire this guy so we can give them medical insurance. Now the services, there are some insane gifts you can get. These are all the illegal ones. This one in particular is actually disgusting, but that's kind of the charm of the game. I'll put a picture right up here where it says the game actually warns you about the crazy shit that happens. It's reflective of the time of the 1930s. What are you gonna do? So the killing time. This is our action movie. 5 and 4.5. Nothing wrong with that. Let's get it going right now. In my opinion, the best film studio is one that makes movies. And we have the soundstage. Is the soundstage not in use from the other movie? Okay, but My Love Is There has also been written. 3.6. I mean, I say we make it as well. So I'm just going to start project and then X out of it so that it's in our pre-production phase. And let's get Weep Weep Weep. Oh, here's our security. Okay, and here's Weep Weep Weep. 4.1, 3.9. That's good for Blump Flunkin, who is not that good. Let's start the project and X out. I'm going to make all of these movies. It might end up in me going really low in the cash. Okay, there's been an issue with the filming of whatever this is called. Don't Start Without Me. Let's see what's happening. Stork Johnson brings a very noisy dog to the shoot. Okay, Stork, who's playing the criminal mastermind. So what we can do is we can just spend $500, and as you can see, this icon means that it's coming from our official accounts. So we can just spend that money. This is a bit of a tutorial one. Here, as you can see, because we have a security on the set, we can deal with it with the security, where the security will wring this guy's neck to make sure that, you know, he doesn't keep misbehaving. But obviously it decreases loyalty and his happiness by incredibly low, and he's already basically got nothing. So let's keep everybody happy. Let's spend a little money, and let's just put out fires. That's what being a film studio is all about. Now, firstly, if these are all going to be filming soon, I want to hire more security guards. So let's do that now, because they're all going to need to be there. Next, I want to get everybody writing again. So this is another action movie. Let's call it The Blade of the West. Let's make it an action historical. That's kind of cool. Put it in the Wild West. So it's a cowboy who only uses swords and he kills a evil monster. No, that doesn't make any sense. You know what? Let's change it. Let's put it on a tropical island. It's kind of a pirate movie, even though we don't have pirate stuff unlocked yet. You do get pirate stuff. It's really fun. You unlock so much more different settings. And obviously, we're in 1929 right now. When World War II breaks out, we get so much cool World War II stuff. It's awesome. So let's just put a tribal chief on the tropical island because I know that works. And let's give it a shootout and the search for a killer. And let's have it end with the antagonist getting killed. This is called Love Me. This is the romance for Blumflunken. And it's going to be set in the city. No, not... Yeah, let's do hopeless romantic, love interest, femme fatale, love triangle. End it with sweethearts stay together. But let's go back and change the story. Instead of doing hopeless romantic, let's do clumsy oaf and see if that, you know, does better. Give it to the romance guy. Oh, this is Westerwald, not Blumflunken. Okay, and let's make a super dramatic one for Blump. Death of the beating heart. Put it in the town. I know working man works, so let's not change the formula too much. Let's go working man, but make it a woman. The bad guy will be a serial killer. And there's going... It's a drama, so there's a struggle for a better life. And there's the search for a killer. Because it's a thriller. So serial killer and thriller, that works. And... because there's a struggle for a better life, let's end up with the protagonist getting a chance at a better life. We are making serious money moves here. Now, I just want to see, are these guys using the soundstage? They are using the soundstage, so I don't know why we would be able to use the soundstage, but what's the best film we have here? Let's begin with The Killing Time. Yeah, we can use the soundstage. Not sure why, but let's do it. Let's give it to Harry Ray. No, let's hire a better cinematographer, because this is a 5 and a 4.5. Let's give him some medical insurance, and if you do that before you click this arrow, then the medical insurance is saving us money. Let's see how much it's saving us. 10 grand, which is insane. No, 4 grand. I apologize. Don't start, excuse me, without me. Our first major film that we made all by ourselves is now being distributed. And this is where we choose what cinemas we rent, how many we rent. Now, I'm not spending 400k, so I think we'll just do like 2,000. And then obviously these top numbers here, this is all the cinemas we already own. And then we can choose what company we want to print our things. I always choose the express one, the longest one, because you don't want to release a film too early. You want to give it time for the ad campaign to do its work. And also you don't want to put it over, you know, when it's a really busy time in the cinema. Look, this is an 8.8 actor in a movie. I don't want it to compete with these. I want it to be on its own. So now to choose the ad campaign that's going to go with it, I believe we still get to... Yeah, we still get to choose the pre-made ones. We have 2 left. We need to build a marketing building soon. Now, this is an action adventure, so I'd say for boys and men, but I'd be tempted to say for the whole family. Let's do for the whole family. Why not? And then we will see how that does. And in terms of the scandal that happened where Stork Johnson crawled drunk in the middle of the street, excuse me, let's use our reputation to apologize so that the film doesn't suffer. Now, as you can see, we have a lot happening right now. The Killing Time, our next big movie. This is a real good one. 6 commercial appeal is pretty good. Let's put our best editor to the job. Emma Perry, Lewis Murphy. Let's choose all the medium stuff. Soon we will have our own buildings to do all this stuff. I'm obviously not going to, you know, turn this into a let's play or anything. I'm just showing you guys the game. I seriously suggest you pick it up because it's just so much fun. I know I only make Schedule 1 videos, but I'm going to start making other videos on my channel because I want to turn the Onion channel into a channel where I can show people the game. Here we go. The director wants to set a horse on fire. If we let it burn, everybody is sad. And if we tell him no way, the film gets a lower quality. This is kind of crazy if you like horses. I don't really give a fuck. But unfortunately, I don't have high quality costumes and props, so we can't build our own horse. Let that burn, I say. Now for our romance movie, My Love Is There, Lydia Globe brought a cat to set and the thing ran away and she's crying non-stop. Let's just stop filming and let's find the cat. I know that it means that it's going to take longer, it's going to cost a little bit more, but everybody's going to be happy. Stopping filming doesn't necessarily... Oh my god, weep, weep, weep. Joe Ball has a scene where he digs a grave, but he looks like he's never held a shovel in his life. So we can lower the quality of the film with rolling edits, or we can just keep shooting until it looks right. It's the only thing that doesn't sacrifice the quality of the film. I don't mind spending more money for a better movie. Killing Time is done being edited. We spent 170 grand. It's not got the best rating. This is a romance drama? I can't remember. So we need to, because we're renting the same cinemas that we're renting for Don't Start Without Me, we can't have it on at the same time. So let's do all of our cinemas that we own. And you can actually get an upgrade that lets you buy cinemas the same way. And eventually you can just own all the cinemas and you don't have to pay for distribution. But that is a long time coming. Let's go for Irvine again because they're cheap. So this is a romance action. I'd be keen to say for the whole family again, but I think adults, maybe. Oh, look at this. Marketing and outreach right on time. So now we can do our own ad campaigns and we can also do stunts where, you know, actors visit orphanages and weddings and they aid the homeless and stuff like that, and it basically just kind of brings people to the movie. But I want to do theater management so we can start buying theaters. So this is an agreement with Luxta Constructions. They're claiming that they signed an agreement with the studio's previous owners, and we have to spend 500 grand with them. I don't even know if we're going to use them that much, so they can shove it. We also need to build a marketing and outreach building because we just got it. Let's do that. Boom. Using Luxta Constructions, but we're not going to spend 500 grand with them. I don't see that happening. So now we're going to court. Hooray. So, we have mid-level legal protection. Oh no, we can use 50 influence. This is why it's good to save your influence to get this. And we will have mid-level legal protection at some point, but I don't know when. Oh, we get it in 4 days. That's huge. So we'll actually be able to use the mid-level legal protection upgrade in this scenario. And let's go to the lawsuit and let's choose 100 grand for mid-level legal protection. Now we have a 50% chance of winning the trial. Ethnic composition has been done. I don't even know what this upgrade does. Maintain the ethnic composition of studio staff. If that's what's important, I'd prefer to hire illegal immigrants because they're cheaper. Rope. Our new film has been filmed and it is a banger. Dude, we've got so many good scripts. Holy shit. We're also just making as many scripts as possible so that we can increase the level of our script writers. I want to get 6 story elements per month. Or I want to get 6 story elements, in the story workshop as soon as possible because 5 is so strangling. What's happening at Weep Weep Weep? More problems. Joe Ball got sunstruck and started thinking he was a real cowboy. He's telling everyone in graphic detail about brutally killing the Indians, and his stories are scaring the whole crew. Okay. Joe Ball, oh my god, his happiness is so low already, though. Okay, film crew's happiness has got to go down. Sorry, guys. Party, our next romance film. I'm honestly just going to bin that, because I think we already have a better romance movie. What else has been written? Tears of the Kingdom, our fantasy film. Fantasy drama. Yeah, let's shelve it. We might use it in the future. Finish the preparation for the trial. Do we win? Let's go! Alright, we're down to 3.6. And we're releasing our first solo-made film. 5.7, 5.9. That's an increase, I swear. We must have brought the right people to it. The Bone Grinder, who's an anonymous... okay, nobody liked it. Never mind. Hopefully, it makes some money, though. We spent 540 grand on it, so... Okay, first week we made our money back. Let's let all our writers go solve this issue. What is it? What is the issue? Oh my god! Within 1 month, lower the percentage of black employees at the studio to 0%. What? Oh no! Let's just do it because that guy's a racist. I don't want to lose him as a writer. So we've done it, and now we're just gonna hire all the black people again. I don't like doing that, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, My Love Is There has been filmed. It's not looking very good. Let's get it into post-production. Let's just put our best people on it. Financial year results, we have no tax to pay. Messenger of Death was 3rd in the box office. #1 critical acclaim. That's huge. See, look how much influence we get. And it's #1 fan favorites. Obviously, you know, it was always going to be good because it's the tutorial movie, but Weep 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 is done filming. Let's get our B-team post-production on that right now. Yeah, that was a disaster. A skill of this game is just finding out, you know, when to give up on a dead film, but I usually never do. Alright, the movie made us 856 grand. The attendance dropped off so ridiculous. It wouldn't make sense to extend production. Or extend distribution, I should say. Let's get our movies out there. 6.1! Holy shit! Even better. 2 stars that time. Nice. Thimble shot his neighbor's dog. Okay, let's pay 1 grand so that that secret doesn't get out. Sets and props have been done. Let's do technical support so we can get better cameras. We've buried the secret of owing Joe Duvall's family money. My Love Is There is ready for distribution. Okay. I think that you guys get the idea. This game is truly a fantastic one. I very much enjoy it. So I will leave you all with this video. Hopefully it convinces you enough to buy it. I'm just going to release this film in my own cinemas, and I'm barely going to advertise it because it's not looking like it's going to be very popular. So yeah, like I said, everybody, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please check out Hollywood Animal. I would strongly recommend it. I have barely covered the crazy things that happen in this game. You end up getting involved with the Nazis because of World War II, the Ku Klux Klan, the mob. They all end up being able to do favors for you. I haven't been able to show you the NPC favor stuff. I'll put some footage on screen of like what that is now. It's truly insane. You can make incredibly weird movies. You can make seriously lots of money. I haven't even scratched the surface with what I've shown you, but I don't want this video to be a million years long. So thank you all very much for watching. Lots more content on the Onion channel very soon. More Schedule 1 content coming, but we're also going to start covering, you know, games and becoming a little bit more of a variety YouTube channel. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.